morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Heck yeah, another happy Thursday, making our lives better, making our energy better. Absolutely. Good morning. I love it. We're going to have a fun one today. Absolutely. Living our purpose and finding our why in life, right? That seems like a fun thing to do. So, anyone that's listening to this that has never seen us before, it's super important. We always practice energy before action. We're talking about how to elevate our mindset in life, how to just achieve more, attract more things that we want out of life at the end of the day. It's really important. Energy is all around us, so we can play with that energy. We can hone it to do what we want. And so if we're coming from a clouded space in our head, we're just going to attract storm clouds as opposed to those nice clouds that make sunshine and rainbows happen, right? So yeah, lots and lots of fun. Super excited about all of that. So yeah, we'd love you to join us every week here, Thursday. Really excited. All right. My name is Zach. This is Monique.
This is Monique. I'm an energy healer and intuitive development mentor.
Heck yeah. I've been a real estate investor and on my journey of mindset for a long time. So some of the fun principles that we've learned along the way, we're going to share those with you and have some of that fun. So yeah, feel free to type in the chat, join us. There's Q&A at the end anytime anyone is listening to this, because we do send out replays. It can be a lot of fun. Please hit us up. Give us your thoughts outside of this. We're pretty active on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, starting lots of fun things up like that, helping people out in the world. Heck yeah. Good morning, everybody. All right. Cool. You have anything?
You want to tell them what we're going to talk about?
What are we going to talk about, hon?
Well, it's your topic.
So it is my topic today, right? I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited. So this is a topic that I love. These mindset topics are things that I really get jazzed about. It's all about living your life with purpose in it, understanding your why. What's your driving factor in life, right? Is that something that you guys understand at the end of the day? Is that something that you guys know? Like, drop it in the chat if understanding what your why is. Have you ever done a strong why and purpose type of exercise, just to start out? That would be very interesting to know. But yeah, have you ever just felt like just nothing significant ever happens to you in life? Is that something that you feel that you get like easily bored with your daily routine? These things could be just an indicator that you haven't discovered your life's purpose at the end of the day. You might feel a little hollow. I was just mentioning on the live, it's like being a hollow Easter bunny with chocolate as opposed to one of those solid, really full ones. Or Monique, what'd you like? Caramel filled. Of course she does. Actually, I might want to put some nougat or some happy fruity flavor thing in there, maple filled, whatever. But it's giving yourself wholeness and purpose, because that can end up driving you every single day in your life. So do you live your life with purpose?
Caramel all day.
Caramel all day. Imagine if you were caramel all day. Yeah, heck yeah. But like, why do you guys get up in the morning, right? What drives you? It's like we all have these different goals, but do you have that driving purpose that guides you? I will tell you that on good days, you don't need it as much because you feel like you're in that groove. You feel good. But to me, without purpose on those bad days, oh man, you wake up just not motivated. You don't know what way you're going. You don't feel like you have a bunch of purpose because you probably don't. You probably haven't figured out your why, your deep down why in life. So that's the point of everything, is we just want to have a sense of excitement in everything that you do. You want to wake up excited. You want to go to bed excited for the next day. These are just some little hacks that we do. But when you understand what your purpose is, it'll just show up. It'll show up, that happiness that you want in your life, because it's easy. So like we've been talking about this whole series, self-awareness is where everything starts. right? If we don't have self-awareness, well, then we can't go and adjust those things that we really want to adjust. So when you do find those true values, your deepest desires in life, then you can understand that personal driving force that just really pushes you forward in life. That's your why.
And a lot of people, they look for their purpose through the work that they do.
Mm.
And your purpose might not be something that you do or you use to make money. It might be something totally unrelated. And how you make money might feed your purpose. So people, they get so caught up in thinking, well, I have to live out my purpose. I have to be successful living in my purpose. And yes, some people will find purpose through how they make money. And some people, they're not going to be able to find a way to monetize their purpose. And that's not a bad thing. It's just then you get to change the question to, how can I make money so I can be more in my purpose? How can money support my purpose? So if your purpose isn't something that you have found a way to monetize, that's totally fine. Change the question, right? To then just, how can money support my purpose so I can spend more time living in my purpose? I think that's a really important distinction, because so many people get so caught up in monetizing their purpose. And it's just, that's not always the case. And it's not a good or bad thing. It just is what it is. And if you can monetize it, beautiful. But if not, it doesn't mean anything. It's just now you get to find a way to have money work for you and your purpose.
Heck yeah. Doesn't that seem more aligned with all of your energy and everything that you want to do? Gosh, it just feels easier at the end of the day. A lot happier in everything you're looking to do. Wow. So yeah. So man, have you guys found your why in life? Have you explored that? I know some people mentioned that they were just last week looking to explore that a little bit more. Finding that purpose, finding that drive. Sometimes we forget the reason that we're working towards things in a certain direction every day. Or maybe we do know that, but we're not reminding ourselves often enough. It's not just identifying it once and then we're good to go. It's like one of those things that you want plastered on your wall, on your mirror. You just want it to be in the top of your mind, because again, it helps you on your worst days. And man, it will fuel you on your best days. And so when you get those successes, you'll think, geez, I did this and it's in alignment with my purpose at the end of the day. So just going through this, is it okay to just,
of course it is, but that's something,
want what you want?
Yeah. Julie's saying, isn't it okay to just want what you want? Yes, it is. But that's the thing. So many of us are so timid to give ourselves permission to want what we want, because we think that, again, we need to monetize our why, or we need to monetize our purpose, or there has to be some type of huge, significant reason as to why we want what we want, or it has to align with what our parents wanted, or what our community wants, or whatever it is, or what being a good person means. And those are all just constructs that you've created around your why or around your purpose. So some people, we get in our own way of uncovering our why and aligning to our purpose, because we're putting all these rules around it. There are no rules. You want what you want because you want what you want. And that's probably going to change as you evolve. So it's just being okay with that and giving yourself that permission to be like, shit, this is what I want. And I'm unapologetic in that. And I want to do this, so I'm going to. And just leaving it at that. That's the permission that you have to give yourself. And if there's any like misalignment there, it's just you're standing in your own way at that point. You haven't given yourself the permission to allow yourself to just be unapologetic in your wants, in your desires, in your why, in your purpose.
Yeah. Give yourself permission. That's awesome. But you can want what you want. But I want you to make sure that you're doing those wants and what you want in alignment with why.
Yeah,
you want
what
them.
you want, what you actually want. or is what you want, what you think you want because you think that you should want it.
Oh man, we're going deep here. This is what, East Coast time. Some people on the West Coast, they're just
Like, it's
waking up.
ridiculous.
So it's a little bit too early, right? Yeah. Well, so maybe you guys have heard some of these things before. You might have heard someone like the name of Simon Sinek. If you've heard about him, he's an author, speaker, mentor, really wonderful. Has that book, Start With Why. And if you want to, there's a wonderful TED Talk that's on all of that. Yeah, Angel, absolutely. Wonderful guy. Insightful. Starting with why, right? Because why do you start with why? Most people they don't understand why they do something, why they want something at the end of the day, why they truly want that. Finding your why, the one thing, and it's all about you really want to get your purpose. It's usually something bigger. It's a cause. It's a belief. It's something that's that driving force. It's why you're pursuing that goal in the first place, right? And he'll talk about circles where your why is that center bullseye. Outside of that, you've got your how of how you're going to get something, how you're going to achieve something. A lot of people understand how, they've got, maybe it's their business is their how, a business will get me these types of things, right? And they can understand how to achieve their goals. But sometimes there's daily habits or routines, all those different things that you're taking in order to get your why at the end of the day. But you really have to start with the why, because outside of the how then is even the what, the things you want. You think you want to get a degree, you want a business, you want a car, you want these different things, but ultimately they're hollow. Again, it's outside of that. It's like you're just understanding and seeing the shell of the chocolate bunny. You're not seeing that you want that to be caramel in the middle, because man, if it was caramel, well, then you would go get that bunny just a little bit more, right? So just like briefly talking about all this concept of why and how and what, so that you can understand this, because this permeates not just your personal life, but your business life, right? And a lot of great and inspiring leaders, they start and act and think with their why. And they inspire you with their why at the end of the day, and not with the what or the how. Right. So some of the examples are like an organization. They can very easily describe what they do or how they do it. But people at the end of the day, they don't buy the what and the how. It's uninspiring. Those businesses, they don't end up succeeding and lasting and thriving. It's really that why, that driving factor behind it, that gets others to stay and buy in that business. So the example that's often used is like Apple. They could say that we sell computers. And how do we do it? We do it this way, that way, all these different ways, but that's not really inspiring at the end of the day. So what you really need to start thinking about is crafting that why. So they could market just by saying that we sell great computers, the what that they're doing, and they're beautifully designed, simple to use, user-friendly. That's the how. And you want to buy one, right? You're not inspired at the end of the day. Or there's a law firm, and they can say that they have the best lawyers and they have the biggest clients. Call us. Okay, so maybe I align with that and I have a need, but why do that, right? Or here's a new car. It's got great gas mileage, has leather seats. Buy the car. Okay, but that's not why people buy things at the end of the day. Instead, Apple sells by saying, everything that we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. That's their why. They believe in thinking differently, and they always challenge it, right? They came out with the iPhone at the beginning of the day, as opposed to a flip phone, this thing that could do everything, be everything to someone. And it was easy. It was intuitive. Those types of things.
So it sounds like your why should be inspiring.
It needs to be inspiring.
So Julie, you're saying, what if it's just to be able to travel the world in comfort? Does that inspire you? Does that light you up? Does that get you going at the beginning and the end of the day? If you can say yes, then yeah, that's a perfectly fine why for you. Now, can it be deeper? Probably. And I'm sure Zach will take you through a process to uncover some deeper meanings as to why you're doing what you're doing, or why you want the things that you want or the lifestyle that you desire. But bottom line is, does it inspire you? Does it light you up? Do you get excited when you think about it, when you talk about it? Is it your driving force? It can be a part of your driving force. There might be like a couple different whys that come into that create a big conglomerate as to why you're doing what you're doing. But does it inspire you? So many of us just do things because, oh, I got to make money. Well, that's the what. I'm making money. That's the what.
There's a million ways of making money.
And then how is the job? But like, why are you doing that? Yeah. That's when people become so disconnected from just their day to day. They start going through the motions. They're numb to the everyday life because they're just focusing on the what and the how. What? Need to make money. How? Got to do this job. And they've lost touch of their why. They've lost touch of that inner inspiration, that inner drive. And that is when we just like kind of die off as humans energetically, so to speak, because we're no longer plugging into that authentic alignment, right? We're no longer connected to our heart's desires. And if we're disconnected from our heart's desires, then what are we even doing? Why are we even showing up day to day? When we live life to connect, we are a species that wants connection. So even if that's connecting to your why on a daily basis, that's connection, right? So it's just like getting in your mind, like, what inspires me? What drives me? And looking for examples around you of how other people or other companies or other businesses, how they use their why to inspire others. Like Zach's saying, you don't do anything because of the what or the how. You do it because of the inspiration behind the reasoning as to why.
It's just more powerful. If there was two similar choices that you could make and they both had the same product and they were both made the same way and they solved the same purpose, but one of them helped achieve some other lofty goal and that company was really, really driven towards that goal. If you're in alignment with that goal, holy smokes, you're going to buy that product right there. Or if you're absolutely opposite alignment with that goal, well, then you're not going to buy that product. You're going to buy this other product. Having a why polarizes you. It gives you that strong sense of just being there and doing that thing for a business, but also as a person. And your why can start out with just real simple creature comfort types of things. Yeah, sure. Wanting to travel the world. Why does that jazz you up? Right? It probably frees your head up. It probably makes you feel lighter. You're getting to see more, do more, and then you're going to be able to show up for other people in your life.
Yeah, more authentically.
Yeah.
And Julie, you're saying you feel like you have to have this big gift to the world. So what I'm reading under, like between the lines underneath the written words are, I don't feel safe receiving without first giving, without first doing something. It's not good enough for me just to receive. I'm not good enough just to receive. I have to first give. I have to first do. I have to first prove myself worthy. How many of us have that? We're like, our why is so big, but we feel like we have to prove we're worthy. We have to prove we're worthy to enjoy life through the lens of our why, of living through our why. And that is something that we've been conditioned to believe. But you want what you want just because you want it. And the reason why you want it, that's your driving force. There's no worthiness to prove why that's your driving force. You are worthy because it's a part of you. It's a part of what's driving you. There's nothing you innately need to do in order to connect to that why. Now, because of the why, there will be things that you want to do. There will be things that you want to put out into the world, ways that you want to make money so that you can enjoy your why or be more intentional with your why. But we shouldn't place our why or the reason why we want something. It's not like on this pedestal of now I have to prove that I'm worthy of this. No, this is the reason why you're doing things. This is your driving force. This gets to just continue to propel you forward. And you don't have to prove yourself for anything. The only person you have to prove yourself to is you, because that's where the belief is coming from.
Yeah, that worthiness, that was something that we dealt with a few topics back, but that's one that we're always dealing with internally. I feel it's
all been conditioned.
It always comes up because it's something that's conditioned within
Mhm.
us. Absolutely. So yeah, so just understand that your personal why and your business why are probably very related at the end of the day, because it all comes down to you. For a lot of us, we are our business. If it's not just us, even if there are 100 people, it usually spawned from us. At the end of the day, you're attracting those things in your life. And by understanding your why, it's another way for you to easily tell, this is in alignment. I want to make this decision and I want to say yes, or sometimes more importantly, this is not in alignment. I'm going to say no. The power of saying no to something can be so uplifting and freeing. Be like, no, that's not alignment. That's not in alignment with my purpose. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to take this meeting. That doesn't match my vision for life. That isn't in alignment with my purpose. Someone will be like, what? Right? But you can feel confident about that. And that gives you so much more clarity, so much more direction. And again, it's on the good days, but for me, it's been especially on those bad days, getting you through that next thing. And it's also why is all throughout the aspects of your life, right? It's not just for business. It's not just for family. It could be for your relationship. What's your why to have a relationship at the end of the day? What's your why to go and work out at the end of the day? What's your why to travel? It's all these fun things. What's your why in church? What's your why in your community? But like at the end of the day, it boils down to, what is your why in life? Your overall why, all of those fun things, and it can boil down to that. And you can have subtopics so that you can get some clarity on all of that. But man, it gives you happiness, and it makes you just happier. Why do you think I'm happy most of the time? I'm just always striving towards that why. It's easy, and I'll say no to people. So yeah, your business, your personal why, they are related, but it all starts with you. Get your purpose in life and you'll be so much happier. And so some of the benefits, just the personal benefits, proven benefits of finding your why in life. I wanted to go over some of them with you because there's actually some studies. There's this psychological science journal reveals that people who have a strong sense of purpose in their life, especially those when they're at a retirement age, they tend to live longer than those who don't. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Right? But they live longer. And it's that sense of what makes you live longer, having that community around you, but having that why, that it's just, again, it's another reason to wake up. It's another reason to get up. It's another reason to do every darn other thing in your life. The opposite of that, not doing all of those things, is to give up, is to lay down, is to go to sleep and not wake up again. That's death. Right? So having that why helps you live longer. Shucks, isn't that a good thing? It'll strengthen your health, because the people whose lives they have their meaning in them, they'll end up demonstrating better mental health, physical health. Lo and behold, what do I love to say all the time? It's the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And understanding your why is going to help your mind, your body, and your bank account at the end of the day. They're all related. When one of those is out of sync, the other ones end up out of sync as well. That's why we always say energy before action, because man, everything is related to things in life. And it gives you that focus. It clarifies that focus. Again, when you can just say no to a lot of things and say yes to things and get super excited about those yes to things, it shapes your decisions, your actions, everything, your values. Yeah. And you do away with all that unnecessary stuff, and so you don't end up focusing on those unnecessary things. You're more excited to focus on the wonderful things.
And on an energetic level, when you have clarity around your purpose and your why you're showing up in life, and so it helps you align your values to ask yourself, is the action that I'm taking in alignment with my greater vision, to my values? And if it's not, that helps you clear up any energy leaks. So when we're just saying yes to everything, or when we're putting ourselves in situations almost as just like time fillers, because we're like, this is not benefiting me. This is not contributing to my vision. This is not helping me grow in a way that can help align me more more authentically to my purpose and it's not benefiting my why, then when we do that, we're like leaking energy. And it's almost like if you are a jar, there's just holes in your jar. And so when we start saying no to things and we start setting boundaries because we have a clear why and we have a clear understanding of like, what is part of my purpose here? And no, your purpose can be malleable. Your purpose is who you are being and who you are being in the world. And so know that it may change as you evolve throughout your life. And so as you are connecting more and more intimately to your why and to your purpose, and you're living through that lens each day, and you are like embodying more of that version of you that is deeply connected to your why and to your purpose and living in alignment with your values. You start setting boundaries and you start saying no, you start plugging up those holes. So a lot of people, they'll start feeling more energy throughout the day. They'll have more clarity throughout the day. They'll feel more focused and they'll feel more like they'll have actually more strength because you're not just feeling depleted from just constantly giving away your energy to everything that gives you attention. And so it helps to empower you and for you to actually, it increases your vitality. So you are more energized and you are just more grounded in who you are. You have a stronger sense of self. And that's Zach's next point, is that this strengthens your health and it clarifies your focus. And so passing the torch. So that's 3 benefits. The 4th one though, is it ends up giving you, there we go. Yeah. So the 4th one, it ends up giving you a lot more confidence and bravery in life, because when you're living that life of purpose, at the end of the day, you learn to trust that all the actions that you're taking, they're infused with grace. They're infused with purpose. They're taking you towards there. So you get more brave, you get confident. You're like, no, that is exactly what I want to go for. That is exactly the yes that I want. So I'm going to go for that. You'll listen to those people that say, just take that action, take that sloppy action if you need to, but take that action towards that because you're going to go there. And so you're able to take a little more confidence and overcome some of those limiting beliefs that you might have, just to take that action because it is in alignment with something that is deep down to you. So it makes it easier. You've got that confidence, you've got that bravery. Oh my gosh. And it allows you to make those decisions that you'd be so afraid to make. Even if you need to still figure out what your life's purpose is, having a purpose behind what you do drives you towards your life's purpose. Does that make sense? Like, even if you feel like this might not be my be all end all purpose right now, this feels good. And I can take this vessel of goodness and purpose and lead me to make those actions towards the next thing. And then you can uncover, I like doing that thing. Or maybe you don't like doing that thing, but at least you're brave and you took that step to do that thing because it's in alignment with your purpose. Maybe then you don't like to do that thing. So you have to change up the how or the what in your business because that's not in alignment anymore, but your why can be rock solid and it can tweak over time, right? Just like our personal visions and the business visions, they can tweak over time because we change. We're all growing, we're all evolving, but it's that confidence and bravery that a lot of us don't have when we want to take on these tasks that we know are going to get us towards where we want to go. So how do we find our why?
How do we find our why? I don't know. Did we do that part?
We haven't, but
we haven't. Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Tell me.
All right. So let's do that. I don't know if Jess, are you able to send a link to that right now? That PDF?
You open that?
That opening's not going to do anything for that. But so anyway, we'll see if we can get a link here in the chat. I can also send this to you and I'll post this on our page afterwards. But essentially, if everyone takes out a piece of paper, something to write on, I can walk you through this. There you go. If you want to print that off as well, it's in the chat
box.
Or the chat box. Sure. Okay. FC. I like it when everyone helps me. It's who, not how is my word of the year. So I've got all these wonderful who's around me. But yeah, there's a PDF that was dropped in the chat. It's this exercise of finding your why. So just going through this, first of all, in your phone or on that piece of paper, I just want you to write down first, why are you
Or
here?
in the chat box.
Or in the chat box, why are you here today? What are you trying to achieve? Why are you here?
Why do you do this type of thing? Why do you care about your personal development? Why do you care about growth?
Why do you
Why
have
do you
a
come
business?
to stuff like this? Why do you dedicate some of your time? You exchange your time for this call, another group, another mentor.
Yeah. So understand that why. So answer that one question, right? And then we're going to go.
I'm kind of feeling like I don't want you guys to think about this too much.
Oh,
like this is top of mind. It's just an intuitive answer. So it's not something that like, oh gosh, why am I here? It's just when I ask that question, when Zach asked that question, what's the top of mind answer that comes up? Put it in the chat box, write a note in your phone, and just, I encourage you to actually do this with us because it's so easy to be like, oh, I'll do this later, but will you? Like, let's just all do it now. And when we do something together, the energy compounds. So it makes the result stronger. So yeah, just top of mind, what comes up, just keep it simple. Don't rack your brain too much. Even if it doesn't make sense.
The more that you can just feel into it as opposed to thinking into it, that's great. And this is just a place for us to have those sloppy brainstorming thoughts. Stop overthinking. I'm a chronic overthinker, so just get it out there, right? So just write it down there. But
just real quick, babe, before we move on, I'm seeing John's comment. You want to fix yourself. I really want to encourage everyone. There is no fixing that needs to be had. We're all where we're at because of our previous life experience. It's led us to this moment, and it is so perfect for each and every one of us, whether it feels that way or not. We don't know why we're led to where we're led until we look in retrospect. So I really want to encourage everyone to be very aware of the language that you use when you talk about yourself. You are not a project. You are not a project that needs fixed. You are not a project that will have an end result. Your life is not a project. You are in partnership with yourself. You are in partnership with this journey. And just like if you have a partner or you've had a partner in the past, or you looked at your parents, how do you think your partner would respond if every time you communicated to them or every time you walked in the room, they felt like you were trying to fix them? Because that's how would you feel if your partner, every time they communicated to you or every time they did something for you, it's because they were trying to fix you? There was always that catch. There was always a condition. That's how your life feels. That's how your body feels. If you are just doing things with the intention of, I got to fix myself. This is going to fix me. This next thing is really going to help. It has to work. It has to fix me. No, nothing can fix you because nothing needs fixed, minus that perception that something needs fixed. Okay. So I just really want to invite you guys into thinking more of your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your life, your relationship with your business as that, a relationship, a partnership. What does your partner need from you? What do you need from your partner? Love, understanding, someone to listen to, someone to hear you, time alone, quality time, words of affirmation, like actions that show that you care about them. Do those things for you. Start looking through the lens of, I'm in a partnership with myself. I'm in a partnership with this life. And just, I invite you to start thinking through that vocabulary and just notice if any shifts take place. Like if I were seeing this as a partnership, what would feel really yummy right now? What would feel really good right now? How can I show my life? How can I show my body just how much I care about it? Not that it needs fixed. That simple shift alone will shift you from feeling separate from what you want to feeling more in alignment to what you want. Therefore, you're going to take action from that alignment. Therefore, you're going to get more of alignment.
I love that. Yeah, thank you. I love that so much. Yeah, we are in concert with ourselves. And yeah, the other thing you said is in hindsight, in retrospect, it will all make sense. Well, we're living not in retrospect right now. We can see things in the past, but we can't yet see what this moment is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's some of those other exercises, is some of those forgiveness and those thanking, loving exercises. That's all about forgiving your past, thanking your past, accepting that you are here, loving that you are here because of everything that's happened to you, the good and the bad. It's just, it's so easy to look at the bad and think that's bad.
Yes.
That's
And
bad.
if you don't like where here is, then that's a beautiful thing, because you know that your past led you to this moment. So
Beautiful.
if you want a different future, you get to be different. You get to shift. You get to change. So yes, we've all had bouts or days or weeks or months or years of negative thinking, moments of negative thinking. It is a part of life. But the powerful thing is that we get to choose which thoughts we entertain. Now, some of our thoughts will have a stronghold on them. They're like big redwood forest trees. And those are probably the negative thoughts, because we've been more conditioned to think more negatively, and our brain has a negativity bias to keep us safe. So it might take a couple more axe swings to knock that tree down. But you have to understand that when you start thinking more positive thoughts, more feel-good thoughts, I don't even want to use the term positive, but more feel-good thoughts, you're planting a seed. And then that seed is sprouting, and then it's growing into a little twig of a tree, and then it's growing more. And as you feed it and as you nurture it, just like you would feed and nurture and love and support your body and your life and a partner, then that tree grows and it grows and it grows. And as it grows, because you're not paying attention to this one, this withers. So the axe swings come easier and this grows. So this is truly what you focus on is so important. And yeah, you can choose which wolf to feed. Exactly, Heather. And so it's just understanding that you have the power. You have the power, and it might be more difficult because of just how accessible everything is. And we can go on social media and we can watch the news. I highly recommend you don't watch the news, but we can do all of these things. And it's all just, we can compare ourselves. We can feel jealous. We can feel that negativity, or we can start a gratitude journal. We can focus on the beautiful things in life. Like Zach brings me coffee when he gets up before me in the morning, and I just focus on that. And I feel so grateful for that in bed. And so we can focus on these little things. We can focus on the sun when it's out and the warm air on our skin, and really hyper focus on these small sensational things. I say sensational because they include our body's senses, and feel grateful for that. And that will help build this tree. And so, yes, we all have negative. I think more negatively than Zach. I know I do. And so it is a daily effort for me to be more positive. So I totally understand where you're coming from, John. I lived with depression for years, but there is another side. There is another side. And you have to understand that even though you might not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's still there. And the more that you feed this tree, the quicker you're going to get there. And that takes effort at first, but you can totally do it.
Yeah, you can. So I feel like I want to share some things with you guys, some personal things, because might give some clarity, and my vulnerability might just, feel accessible to you guys. So I've mentioned before that I wouldn't have found real estate investing or even creative finance or anything if it wasn't for the divorce that I went through 11 years ago. That divorce at the time felt like this giant mountain is falling on me. Everything I thought, like, this is the perfect life. I found the perfect person. We're going to go here and we're going to do these awesome things. Nurtured her, brought her coffee, I'm sure, once or twice, because, that's wonderful in life. And then that whole thing came crashing down. It came crashing down. My world was all different, and it allowed introspection. From that, I ended up running a whole marathon, finding real estate, which is one of the best things in the world, in my mind, from making wealth, generational wealth, from nothing. Our bank account had been depleted. I don't want to go into why, but because I can always take part in things. But anyway, it wasn't all my fault. Anyway, bank account depleted, credit destroyed because I took on all of her finances because I had 0%, 1%. She had 10%, 12%, 18%. I'm like, good God, please, for our own benefit, let me take those things on. Well, I was stuck with those. So I had to start real estate with no money and destroyed credit. And that was literally what attracted me towards it. So there's that, right? From those ashes, I was reborn, right? Like a phoenix, reborn to do these wonderful things. Never thought I would own, gosh, all of this property in the world. Had no idea. Never thought I would run a marathon. I thought runners were freaking crazy, right? I was right. They are. They're crazy in a good way. Still, oh yeah, absolutely, still am.
Yeah.
But so the other thing that I haven't shared with a lot of people is that about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with MS. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. This was something where I was working so hard. I was trying to do every different thing in life. I was trying to do multifamily, with this partner, build this type of software, with this partner, do this university. So many different things, building a whole lead gen, doing all that because it had built up from the fact that, wow, real estate's so powerful. I'm doing all of these things. And I found myself late one night working hard on a big deal, and it was in the middle of the night, which I'm sure people can relate to, some night owls. I'm staring at my screens, and all of a sudden things got blurred. The vision got blurred, and my fingers, I couldn't really move them, and they got all tingly in this hand. And so I'm going, what in the heck is going on? This seems really weird. I Google it and they say, oh, you're probably having a stroke. You should go to the hospital right now. And I'm thinking, oh man, you kidding me? This can't be possible right now. And I'm thinking, what's my health insurance? Like, do I drive there? I can't really see quite right. Let me sit down, keep Googling. It's like, oh gosh, they're like, it's seconds matter. I'm like, oh geez. Let me go put on some comfy pants because I don't know how long I'll be there. I should brush my teeth. Like the thinker in me is going through like everything I should fricking do, as opposed to like, I should handle this right now. Well, fast forward through all of that. They did all these scans. Weeks later, you know, they let me go that night. I could walk home and I'm like, this is crazy. I'm seeing double right now. How is this correct? Right. And so took another week till I forced, a friend of mine helped force me into the hospital and the ED, and to basically get admitted was the goal, so they could run all these tests to figure out what was going wrong. And it took them a couple days and poking me and prodding me. And in the middle of the night, one night, this wonderful hospital dropped this binder right on my meal desk thing that you get with the hospital in your bed. And it said, oh, so you have a stroke. Something along those lines, big words, stroke. And I'm just like, oh, I woke up to get it. I'm like, I guess I have a stroke. Nobody told me anything. I'm like, this is pretty shitty the way this is happening right now. Then the next day, they pulled that away and they said, oh no, we don't think you have that anymore. Here's the diagnosis. It's MS. Oh, by the way, we don't know what causes it and there is no cure.
I hate that they say that.
Isn't that shitty? So that's what I was dealt with at that point. So when I talk about the lowest of the lows and everything, that was it. After I had already run a marathon, as I'm building this business, doing these wonderful things, I get to that point and I think, man, what the heck is going on with my life? But then I take some retrospect and I build some of these tools, these mindset tools that I've had. I explore things even more than I already have to pick myself up through all of that. And with all of that, I'm like, nope, I'm going to go forward, you know, because this is a new day. And just because that is what happens to most people, that most people don't end up doing this or that or anything in life, that's not going to be me. Because I have a different mindset about it. I have a different shift. And I know that this thing is caused by stress. And holy smokes, was I stressing myself out. But how thankful I am for that experience. I can say that I thank myself for having that experience. I love myself for having that experience, because with that, I wouldn't have said no to everything that causes me tons of crazy stress in life. And so I say yes to everything that's just relaxing and nice in nature and playful and positive, thankful for everything that I do. And that's why I live my life through those things. And I'll tell you that I haven't had any crazy episode since that day in all these years. And they're just like, wow. And it's funny, every time I go in to get doctor checkup, say, how are you doing? They're like, oh, wow, you're doing really well. I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I? Right? It's my mindset of course I am. And I surround myself with lovely people that just share all of those things. But it's these traumatic things in life that end up,
they can really make you or break you.
Oh,
and Zach
yeah.
chose to let this diagnosis make him. And he is like the happiest, most positive person that I know. So much so I'm like, is this real? Like, but it is. It's so authentic. And he helps pull me out of my more critical moments. But we've worked on his mindset around the healing. Like, I personally believe your body is capable of healing anything, because I've done it and I've helped clients do it. And so we've worked on his belief system around him healing. And we've worked on his belief system just around his body's ability to come back to like full state of health, and just how it's possible, like anything is possible. There are infinite possibilities. Why focus on the worst one? He chooses to focus on the best one. And sometimes he has his low days, but those are like a needle in a haystack compared to the positive days.
Well, thank you, honey. It feels like those bad ones, they just stand out in our head, right? Because they're so easy to stand out.
Focus. And that's why, like, his why is because he doesn't want to be in a wheelchair when we have kids. He's one of the most active people I know. He's training me for a half marathon right now. So it's just, that's one of his whys. So just keep that in mind, that like any negative experience, you can use it to your benefit. But you have to put in the work to do it. And he had a support system then. He has a support system now. I think a really great support system.
A really great support system, right? I mean, because this didn't happen overnight. It took a couple of years. Again, it was like 5 years ago. I really literally do not know when I was diagnosed. And they'll even ask me that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Stop identifying with the shitty moments in your life, and they will stop identifying you.
Accept those moments, love those moments, be grateful for those, and then find your purpose outside of those moments, because those moments are not your purpose. They are not what defines you in life. No. Everything else.
Clear on your why, if anything.
That's exactly what it was. I tell you, I have never been more clear until I was faced with my mortality, right? My inability to do some things. Heck yeah. Yeah, heck yeah, absolutely. Right. And so, defy all of those things. And so, people just think like, oh, this guy is so happy all the darn time, and like these good things happen to him. No,
really good at what his why is.
Finding my why, giving that. Okay, so let's get to this.
So everybody, like, reconnect to your why. So why are you here?
Why are you here
just
today?
Reconnect to that answer really quick. Maybe you go back and reread it. Or just think about it if you didn't answer it before. Why are you here today? Why do you do this type of stuff? Why do you do this personal development stuff? So get that.
And then from there, so some of the examples, first things that come up, some of the examples I see was living to fully live authentically. Growth, someone says personal and professional growth. Absolutely. Right. Why? So the next step is, why do you want that growth?
So go back to your answer. Why do you want that?
So take one step down, write another answer right under that is, why do you want that thing? Why do you want that growth?
First thing that comes to mind.
First thing that comes to mind. And maybe on somebody's list at some point, it could be money. You're probably going to get to a point where you're going to say, well, money is why I want that growth. Why do I want that growth? For my business. Why the business? Well, for money. But then ask yourself again. So this exercise is to keep going down. Ask yourself again, why do I want that money? Because the money it's a hollow Easter chocolate bunny.
Mhm.
Money's everywhere. Big
I
deal.
want it to travel and to buy a bunch
Yeah.
of organic food.
Ask yourself, so what? Yeah, money.
Why?
Why? To travel in organic food. I want it to have time freedom. I want it to have the freedom
Why
to
do I wanna
do
travel?
what I
To
want,
explore.
whatever, with
the
whom.
world.
My dad in life was working so hard that he wasn't with me. And as a child, a teenager, that was something that I craved, was just attention from parents. So part of my desire from a real young age was just to have that ability to always be with the people that I loved, wherever they are in the world, whenever I wanted that. I did not know how, but by golly, I knew why. So much so that I played my dad cats in the cradle on the beginning of a awkward road trip somewhere because I'm like, here, I made you a mixtape, Dad. I'm gonna try and not tell you how I feel, but do it through song, somebody else's song. Want to talk about it afterwards? Yeah, that was great. But it's just from those moments we find why. I want to have that freedom so that I can do what I want. But communicate those things. Communicate those things right now to yourself. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Connect with yourself. And so why do you want that money? Why do you want to travel the world? Why do you want that?
I want to travel the world to have those experiences, to see the world, to explore and adventure.
That sounds fun.
Why do I want that?
Why do you want
that
to have those
to live fully.
experiences? Oh, to living, it's a more full life to you.
Fulfilling, to feel fulfilled.
So like, what else is a full life for you? What other things are like a full life for you besides traveling?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister.
Your sister.
My clients.
Your clients.
Clients.
So now with all of those things as part of your full life, yeah, your family, your time, heck yeah, right? With all of those things, why have that as part of your life?
The deeper you go, the harder it gets to answer the questions.
So we'll take Monique's advice and try not to think about it.
Mm-hmm. The first thing that comes up is just to make an impact.
Making an impact. An impact on who? For who?
People to believe in themselves.
To believe in themselves. For people. You want to make an impact for people. Why do you want to do that?
Because I spent a lot of my life not believing in myself.
Because you spent a lot of your life not believing in yourself. Well, that's pretty awesome. So, so you want to have this impact because you want to help other people not have the issues that you have, or to be able to get through those.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that important to you?
Because we all have trauma and a lot of people don't know how to work through it.
So then she goes through this exercise and you can go a little bit deeper, but then you also see where sometimes we'll go a little sideways as well. So it's like, all right, you want to have that full life. Well, then let's fill out what it means to be a full life. And so just like we were talking that you can have your why in your relationship and in your business and in your personal life and in your fitness, understanding all those dimensions, all those little facets of that crystal is really important. So you could even spiral off all of those and say, why? Why is this important? But what you'll eventually get, and if you go down and you do it an exhausting number of times, and sometimes it'll go and it'll circle back to a similar ones, you're like, well, it's for this thing up here, and then that's because of this and that and that. So what you'll start to see is it just ends up kind of coalescing. It groups towards something. And for me, my why was always just because, for one, my family, I loved them. I was so grateful. We never had a lot of money growing up, but they taught me wonderful principles in life, and they were always there and supportive. I want to give them whatever they want in life. And that feels kind of selfish in a way, right? That part of my why is it's wanting to help my family. But when I explore it in other dimensions, right? The other dimensions are more that I want there to be a purpose in life. I want me to have been brought on this world for a purpose at the end of the day. And yes, I love helping other people in life because why? Because I want to make this world a better place. I want to make the world a better place. Why? Because the environment is so wonderful. The environment, the nature, man, that fuels me every day. And so I want to protect nature, and I want to protect the people that love and protect nature. I want to nurture all those loving and kind and happy people in the world. That's my tribe. Those are the ones that I just want all around me, and I want to help them. Honestly, I don't want to help the people that are jerks and that are anything else like that. So it's more focused on just those kind-hearted people, not those money-driven people. I want to help those people that understand that they're living for a higher purpose, that they have that social intelligence, that emotional intelligence, that they're building something better. They're always improving, because those type of people, they might be able to change the world too. So even if I can't directly change the world in some way, the spiraling effect, the fractal effect from everyone, that can change the world even more. Again, what's my word of the year? It's who. So why not just focus on the fact that any little thing that I do, all of you guys that are here today, everyone that's listening to this, their days could get even better. What's the change that they're going to have in that world around them? And how is that going to change the world around them? Man, to me, when I tune into that energy, I feel driven, I feel whole, and yeah, I'll be able to make things better for my family at the end of the day. And I'm going to surround myself with all of those people that are always trying to strive to be better, that care about other people in the world, that care about the environment around them. I'm just fulfilled by all of those things. So yeah, what is your ultimate why? It's when you know, and it might take more time for you than just this, because you've got some noise that's going on in the background, mostly my voice and her voice, right? But it really makes sense to take this exercise, go sit in a place that's quiet, that's serene to you, whatever that might be. You know, maybe you're playing some ocean music, maybe you're by an ocean. I'm jealous, right? Maybe it's just in nature. Maybe it's someplace warm. Again, I'm jealous right now. It's cold here in Ohio. But just do this exercise. Take some time. Try going through it where it's very intuitive. Try going through it where you're thinking it through a lot. You know, try it from both ways, because the more that you take the time to explore what your why is, where you get to that deep, deep, deep meaning, that's going to be, it's cold everywhere, even in Arizona.
Gabby's by the ocean.
Yeah, Gabby. Hey, you have an extra room.
So if they do this intuitive and thinking, when do they reach their ultimate why?
When do you reach your why? It's kind of like the Ho'oponopono prayer. You'll end up feeling complete. What feels complete to you? It might be that you are circling around and it's always coming back towards the same thing. It's always driving down towards this. But what it'll be is it'll be something more of a purpose, a higher cause, something outside of yourself, something outside of things in life. It'll be more of an intangible. That's going to be your why. And you can focus on that for a while, and even just trying to focus on that each week. Did anyone try the visualizing that they were back at that one spot, that happy spot from last week that we all took ourselves to? Now, what if we could, yeah, I did too. I'll tell you. And every time that I did that, man, that was a beautiful day. If you guys missed that,
so
go listen to that.
Something that you can also do to help you connect to your ultimate why is take yourself to that space that you were able to get to last week and see who's there, see what's there, see how you feel when you're there. And then when you come back and you reflect on, why am I even doing this? When do you get those similar feelings? Or the people in that vision, like, what about them? And so you can use your imagination, because your imagination is connected to your subconscious mind and your intuition. You can use your imagination to help give you these answers. If finding your why is something that you really, really desire to do, then use that visualization and just see, like, if my why was here, show me it. and just trust what comes up. Trust what you have a sense of. Trust that you have like a knowing of what you see. Or how does it feel knowing that I got here with my why in mind? And see what the feelings are that come up in your body. And then when you're doing this exercise, this why exercise, it was put in the chat box. So if you guys want to download it, you can. The PDF form of what he was taking you guys through. But then as you're writing out your whys, what aligns to those feelings? What aligns to those bodily sensations that you have when you're in this visualization of you being at this ideal place and time in your life? So we can use our subconscious or our unconscious mind in conjunction with our conscious mind to bridge the gap that we might put there, that gap of, I don't know what the answers are. I don't know when I'm finished. So you can help yourself out by using those two and bridging that gap.
And when you find that, what that is, that why, incorporate that into your final visualization. You know, if it's people, visualize them right there with you. And I imagine that you're going to feel wonderful. So for me, it's my family, and it's just making the world a better place and helping people out. So I would envision that my family is all around me at that wonderful place. And how did I get there? I helped all these people. And so I'm so happy and fulfilled at the end of the day. Maybe even it's from a trip that I'm taking to present and talk to people about all of these things and helping them out. It's a new, like, I'm on stage and talking about them. And then just the afternoon of that, I get to be on the beach with my family, and it got to bring all of them there. Right? To me, that brings a lot of purpose. And then all these people are coming up to me and giving me these stories of, wow, you have changed my life. And wow, what good things have you done in the world? And just giving me those stories. You know, to me, that feels beautiful. But that's me. That's just me. That's not saying that you have to have any of those things, right? But that you can incorporate them into that visualization at the end of the day. I don't know if that's something you want to take them through.
We're out of time.
We are out of time.
That's 12.
So
we'll do it next week.
We'll do another one next week, and we can incorporate that into there. So I promise we'll make some time for that for next week.
Live next week, I'll walk you through a different exercise, a different visualization exercise that will help lock this in more. But
yeah, you can go and play the replay from last week. And again, just use that as another tool too, to say, you know, why did I get here at this spot, and feel into that. And then when you even just playing around with it, make it playful, because visualizations are meant to be playful, right? So bring in these people, try out your whys in your visualization and just see how it feels. Like, oh, you're forcing it, or yeah, that feels great. That feels right in alignment.
Like, for an example, when you work out, your why isn't to lose weight. Because if it's just to lose weight, you're going to fall off the wagon. Your why is, why do you want to lose weight? I want to lose weight to feel better. Why do I want to feel better? Because I'm sick of beating myself up and being my worst enemy. So you want to be your friend. You want to be more confident. You want to love yourself more deeply. Ultimately, those are your whys into why you're working out. So it can be simple. It can be as complex or as simple as you want it to be, but it's always going to be deeper than that first reason as to why you're doing what you're doing, or why you think you're doing what you're doing. Because why am I working? Well, to make money. Okay, but why do you want the money? And so always just like take yourself deeper until you feel that fulfillment. Because like making money feels great, but does it feel fulfilling? No, it doesn't feel fulfilling. What I get to do with the money is fulfilling.
The freedom I have is fulfilling.
So connecting to those values, freedom, fulfillment, happiness, love, joy, connecting to those values and bringing those into your reasoning as to why you're doing what you're doing. When you have your why, when your why connects to one or more of those feelings and those sensations, then you know, okay, this this is my why for this for this particular thing.
And then it helps every other aspect of you to get you on that path. It'll attract that goal right towards you. Just like, why do you work out to lose weight? No, if you find that you want to be that, have that more confidence, to feel better about yourself, those types of things, well, then, okay, now we change the question, we change the result. We've talked about that, right? So by trying to achieve this different thing, feeling better about myself, having more confidence, well, it's not just working out, it's eating healthy, it's having good practices, it's getting great sleep at the end of the day. So like, how many ways can I achieve this and have more confidence? And then lo and behold, you might not care as much about working out, or working out just becomes part of what you do. But either way, you can achieve that confidence. You can get that goal, and so many other things will end up just attracting towards you along the way.
And just one final thing that's coming up that I just want to leave with you guys. What we want that because, not because of the result, but it's because of who we think will become with the result. So that why is probably laced into who you'll become, or who you'll think you'll become with the result. So we want money, not because we want more money, but because we want to be a more free version of ourselves. We want to be a more giving or loving version of ourselves, whatever that is. We want to help other people that are struggling, or we just want to travel. And why do you want to travel? Because you want to feel free. You want to feel adventurous. So it's asking that question of, okay, this is what I want, but who am I becoming through this process? Like, who is this version of me? And again, that's that visualization that we did last week. Who is this version of me that already has this? And how is she or he living their life? Okay, so that will help you connect to your reasonings as well. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, we'll wrap this up, and you can put them in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. And if not, then we will see you next week. What are we talking about next week, babe? Do we have it up?
I have the manifesting matrix.
So we're going back into a more of a manifestation talk. And
just how to hack your life, your morning, your evening type of routine, kind of pulling a whole bunch of things all together. Again, it's something that I ended up developing because I felt like I was stuck in that sadness rut from either the divorce or the diagnosis, but it's something that I have progressively iterated on and just made better and better. It's something that I use in my daily life, especially on the bad days. And I just want to share that with you, go over that with you, and leave you with some awesome possibilities.
So having your why would be good for next week.
Yeah, having your why is right in the center of what we're doing, because again, it drives you. So
yes,
you're going to want to have that.
Why is really powerful for manifesting as well. So we'll talk about that next week too.
Super cool. Wow. Love it. Awesome.
All right. Well, we hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you in a week from today. Thank you for spending your Thursday morning, afternoon, evening with us, wherever you're at in the world.
Right on.
And if anything pops up, you want to share anything with us, you can find us on the socials.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of love, everyone.
All right.
Push it forward to everyone else. Thank you, guys. Take care.